today is the day my DreamBox 2 gets delivered. Hey, I'm Corinne. I own a blog called Slay at Home Mother where I focus on homemaking, cleaning, and organizing. I have 3 kids. You can probably hear my toddler in the background, and I've owned a DreamBox before. In 2020, I purchased the DreamBox 1, and now I'll be upgrading to the DreamBox 2. So I can't wait to show you what this new DreamBox 2 is gonna look like. In this video, I'll be showing you the DreamBox getting off the truck, wheeled up the driveway, and into the house and set up. As someone that loves things to be organized, I knew that I wanted a space that is in our home just for me, that I could craft and create and is just mine. I don't have to worry about Legos, laundry, or anything else piling up the room because the space is just for me. And funny story, when we went house shopping originally, before we bought this house, I was searching for a room within that house that would fit the DreamBox. So I had the DreamBox measurements, and if you don't have those and you're researching, you're still in the process of buying your DreamBox, I'm gonna put those in the description below so you can view those. But I had the dimensions in mind, and every house that we went to, I had a tape measure because I knew I was gonna get a DreamBox one day. One day I was gonna get one, and the house had to be able to fit it. So I kept my tape measure with me and I measured the wall, and this house happened to have the perfect room, which is this one right here. Well, let's tour my office right now before the DreamBox gets here this afternoon. This is the blank wall that the DreamBox is going to go on. This is just some random stuff with my sewing machine in the corner. These are my children's school memory boxes, so I keep all of their things organized for each child. I have 3. And the things that I have to organize in my DreamBox, and more papers from the school year that I have to organize. And then here I have my Dream Cart, which is also from Create Room. If you're wondering whether to get the Dream Cart or the DreamBox, just look at the amount of stuff that you have. I have like outgrown the Dream Cart, so I definitely need a DreamBox, but this is about the amount of space that you would get with the Dream Cart. And then I have my printer station over here. And that's my entire office space. I can't tell you how excited I am to get all of this into my DreamBox 2 over here on this wall and show you what it looks like all organized and put together. She's here. Here is my DreamBox 2. We are gonna get this uncrated and ready to go inside the house into my office.
Can you see it?
Ooh, oh my gosh. A new DreamBox smell. Everything is labeled for you, so you know what side it goes on. A quick look at these hinges. These are a lot more sturdy than the ones in the DreamBox 1, so I'm just gonna put that out there. Just taking a look at them, unboxing them, and putting this together. These are some heavy duty hinges that we're dealing with here this time. process of assembling my DreamBox 2, but I wanted to share one really big update that Create Room did this year with their DreamBox 2 is they implemented an LED light even if you don't buy the crown. I am gonna have a crown, so I'm gonna have a light here and a light on the crown, but you don't need to have a crown anymore. It is gonna come standard with the DreamBox 2, and this is where the LED light is going to go. Before we build the crown and anchor to the wall, I just want to show you how many more cord holes are put here. This one is standard on the DreamBox 1, but on the DreamBox 2 you have this one here, and this is the main, this is where the table is here. So there's a hole here, and there's a hole here, and then on the bottom section where you can place your printer, your machines, all of that, they have another hole here, a hole here, and one over here on this end. So they have 5 total cord holes in the back, which I think is fantastic. Here is the safety kit with the brackets and screws that you'll need. We're also going to scoot these a little further back than being flush with the back, so that way we're in line with this part, this corner here of the DreamBox, and I have room for my cords to run. And then if I add anything else to these bottom parts that I can run through these cord slots, then I have the room to do so. So I just want to note that before we start mounting it to the wall. Here are the new jars from Create Room. I love these. These are gonna be great for smaller items. I can't wait to put these in my DreamBox. I get asked this question a lot. If you want to create tote covers like this, they are basically pieces of cardboard that I've cut with my Cricut. So I have a Cricut Design Space file link I'm going to post in the caption below in those notes, so you can just click right on it and be taken right to the design where you can customize it or make it. But when you're in Design Space, you're going to want to make sure that this long tote graphic cutout line here is tilted sideways and that it is right about at the 11 mark. And you're also going to need a 24-inch cutting mat. I also want to include in Design Space the cut setting that I'm using with my fine point blade here on my Cricut Maker. You can also use an Explore Air for this. Is the cardstock for intricate cuts. This seems to be doing the best job at cutting my cardstock, so I just want to put that out there as well. Here's my DreamBox all set up, complete with my sign and everything. I am seriously so impressed with this DreamBox 2, the configuration, the setup, the storage. I could go on and on. I'm going to share some of my top favorite things about my new DreamBox 2 with you that I am loving. So if you're on the fence about purchasing, I hope this will give you some clarity and decide if it's right for you. With the DreamBox 2, we have double crown lights. I can turn them both on so you can see. So there are both of my crown lights. They illuminate the space, so even if I'm crafting late at night, I can see so well. I also really appreciate the extra configuration as far as the center part of the DreamBox here goes. So I can store my Cricut here on a shelf, or they have 2 drawers, and they also have the option, if you have a large monitor, to fit right here without this shelf. So a lot of different configurations for the center, but also for the door itself. It used to be that these hooks had to go right here, but if you have small children or toddlers, I found that I had to keep my DreamBox closed all the time so that I didn't have little hands and fingers reaching that. So it's really nice that I can put this here, 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 wherever I like to suit my needs. I also love the new hinges. These hinges are a lot stronger and more aesthetically pleasing, which I appreciate. For the table, it is a fold up instead of a fold up a little bit and then down and then close in. I feel like the DreamBox closes much more, more seamless, I think is the word I want to use, for when the DreamBox closes with the table up. And I just want to show you in real time, this thing is sturdy. So you can tell with these hinges, it's wonderfully made. So I love the hinges, the new hinges on the table, and I love the new hinges throughout the DreamBox as well. I also want to point out, because with my DreamBox 1, I found that the crown kind of bumped against the doors when I would close it. I don't get that anymore. So when I close this, I get more of a kind of like the tiniest little bit of floating above, but not to where it's super noticeable. But I appreciate that because I'm not rubbing against these tops here and then rubbing this paint off. So it's a much more blocked design versus kind of like this little lipped curve that was here, right here beforehand. And one more thing that I want to point out, and I featured this in my video earlier, but is all the cord holes throughout the DreamBox. So if you have printers, Cricut machines, different tools that you like to plug in and use, you can with, I believe there's 5 cord slots. So you can feed the cords through those slots and plug them into a surge protector or your outlet near your DreamBox. And I just want to answer this question really quick that I got in my Instagram messages. But for the safety bracket, there are some wall anchors. So if you don't have your studs lined up perfectly, that's okay. We actually had to use wall anchors on one of these safety brackets, and it worked out great. Overall, I feel like Create Room really took what people were saying and implemented those changes into their design and redesign, while still manufacturing a quality product that really changes the way that you organize your craft space. If you are thinking about purchasing the DreamBox 2, I hope you'll use my code. It's going to be in the description as well, but it's always SlayAtHomeMother, and it saves you $100 on your DreamBox purchase. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more DreamBox 2 updates. You guys have a great day.